Sister Wives. Janelle Brown 2025 Detox may finally be over after moving her things from Arizona. She's focused on the positives in her life. Sister Wives Season 19 star Janelle Brown recently moved the last of her things out of Arizona, and she's focused on the positive changes in her life. Everything is so different now than when Janelle, 55, made her television debut in 2010. Back then, she was the second wife of polygamist patriarch Cody Brown. When all was said and done, Cody had 4 wives and 18 children, but the Brown family fell apart throughout the last few years. Cody's third wife, Cristin Brown, left him in 2021, followed by Janelle and Mary Brown in 2022. By the time Sister Wives Season 19 premiered, the Brown family was no longer a family unit. 3 of Cody's 4 wives had left the plural marriage. He found himself in an unintentionally monogamous marriage with his 4th and youngest wife, 45-year-old Robin Brown. Janelle resisted leaving Cody. She always liked the polygamous lifestyle and the independence it afforded her, but she and Cody couldn't make it work. After 29 years of marriage, they called it quits. She recently moved the last of her things out of Arizona and is ready for this new chapter in her life. When the new year rolled around, Janelle posted her resolution to Instagram, and it was all about detox. The Sister Wives star announced her decision to focus on freeing herself of the toxic energy holding her back in her life. She laid out her plan for how she planned to achieve her detox goals, which included physical activity, diet, and spiritual connection. It's about making space for greater peace and clarity by detoxing my life emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In 2024, Janelle lost her son, 25-year-old Garrison Brown, and is still mourning. Janelle recently posted a photo of herself looking stunning. The Sister Wives Season 19 star recently attended a fundraiser wearing a glamorous velvet gown. My friend at April Rains and her husband had an extra ticket for a fundraiser this weekend in Raleigh. Reads Janelle's Instagram post caption. It was fun to dress up and spend the evening out for a good cause. Janelle spends her days on a farm, so this was way outside the box for the single mother. Since leaving Cody, Janelle has pursued the life she always wanted, which includes buying a flower farm in North Carolina. Though Janelle has never looked better, she's uninterested in dating. Janelle's love life came up during her appearance on the Sibling Revelry podcast, where she made a shocking statement. She said she had no intention of ever getting married again. "I am done," she said, adding, "I love my single life." Janelle went on to say if something were to present itself, she'd be open to at least considering it, so she's not totally against it. Maybe after more time away from Cody, she'll be more open to finding love again. Though Janelle moved out of Arizona a while ago, she still had a storage unit worth of items keeping her tied to the place. Though it may seem trivial, it was symbolic for the Sister Wives Season 19 star to finally leave Flagstaff for good. Janelle recently posted footage from the move to Instagram. In the photos, Janelle and her friends empty her last storage unit into the U-Haul truck she rented before she leaves Arizona behind. With nothing holding her back, Janelle is free to start this new chapter in her life. During her trip to the Southwest, Janelle also had dinner with 2 of her sons, Logan and Hunter Brown. Janelle has always been close to her children, but since losing Garrison, she has tried to spend even more time with them. "Had dinner with my boys," read Janelle's Instagram caption. Gabe is in Chicago. She went on to explain, regarding her other son, Gabriel Brown. While Janelle's children all enjoy great relationships with her, most of them don't speak to their father, Cody. Janelle currently lives in North Carolina near her daughter, Madison Brush. Janelle and Cristin were never close while they were married to Cody. Even when they lived under the same roof in Utah, they kept to their respective wings of the house. Some of that is because the Sister Wives Season 19 stars have very different personalities. Cristin is emotional, while Janelle is stoic. Cristin is a romantic, while Janelle's feet are planted firmly on the ground. The Sister Wives Season 19 stars weren't close because they lived very different lifestyles. Janelle was one of the family's top earners. The Browns had 18 children to feed, so it took a lot of work to financially support the family. While Janelle was always at work, Cristin was the family's stay-at-home mom. While they were part of the same family, Cristin and Janelle didn't spend much time together. It was the first Monday in April, and for Janelle Brown, that meant more than just flipping the page on a calendar. It meant breathing in fresh mountain air, sipping tea on her new patio in Utah, and finally, reclaiming a part of herself that had been long buried under the red dust of Arizona. After months of soul-searching, cleansing, and clearing both emotional and physical clutter, Janelle's 2025 detox was coming to an end. For years, her life had revolved around compromise. Compromise in marriage. Compromise in parenting. Compromise in friendship. But standing in the warm morning light, watching the last box from Arizona being unloaded by a group of volunteers she lovingly called her moving angels, Janelle felt a sense of clarity that had eluded her since the earliest days of the Sister Wives saga. "I didn't even know I still had that toaster oven," she laughed, pulling a box labeled Kitchen, Arizona, out of the trunk of her SUV. It was like opening time capsules from a life that no longer fit her. "Oh my gosh, this has Cody's handwriting on it," she said, turning the box over and seeing a barely legible scrawl. "Don't forget the sweet potato peeler, Janelle." Her smile softened, but there was no sting. Not anymore. The detox had begun quietly in early January, right after the new year. She didn't announce it with a dramatic Instagram post or some fanfare-filled declaration. She simply stopped. Stopped trying to fix what wasn't hers to fix. Stopped waiting for apologies. Stopped putting herself last. And, for the first time in decades, she started listening to her own heart, her own intuition, and even her own cravings. Surprisingly, she craved celery juice. Who knew? A major part of the detox was physical. The Arizona house, the one that had seen so many tense family meetings, so many half-hearted reconciliations, and so many cold silences, had always felt like a ghost town to her. Even when it was full. The decision to officially move her things out wasn't just about logistics. It was symbolic, a ritual of release. Janelle took her time with it. Each drawer she emptied, each photo she packed, each blanket she folded, she gave it space. She remembered. She forgave. She let go. Moving to Utah wasn't an escape. It was a return. A return to her roots, her grown children, and herself. It was also closer to Cristin, her best friend turned sister by choice, and now her partner in healing. The two had made a pact over green smoothies and tears in early February. 2025 would be the year of joy, not survival, not obligation. Joy. "I think we're done surviving," Cristin had said, squeezing Janelle's hand. "Let's live." And Janelle had taken that to heart. Her mornings were now filled with morning walks in the canyons, where she'd sometimes spot deer and always feel awe. She'd picked up a journaling habit and even dabbled in watercolor painting. "It's terrible," she'd admitted to her followers during a recent Instagram Live, holding up a lopsided lavender bush she'd painted. "But it makes me feel like a kid again." And that's the point, right? Her children had noticed the shift too. "You're glowing, Mom," Savannah said last week while visiting from college. "Like, you actually look peaceful." And maybe that's because she was. It wasn't that the pain had disappeared. The memories didn't suddenly vanish with one box of memorabilia. But something inside her had recalibrated. The detox wasn't about erasing the past, it was about learning how to carry it differently. Lighter. With grace. And yes, she still had moments of anger. Moments where she questioned the years spent navigating the chaos of polygamy. But they didn't consume her anymore. They visited and passed through like summer storms. One of the biggest surprises of her 2025 journey came in the form of community. Women from all over the country had started reaching out through social media, at book signings, and coffee shops. They told Janelle she inspired them. That they, too, were detoxing from broken marriages, toxic friendships, and invisible expectations. Janelle didn't set out to become a wellness muse, but here she was being one, authentically. She even began working on a digital guide called Unrooted, a practical path to starting over. Part memoir, part workbook, it offered real-life steps for women ready to reclaim their lives. "No gimmicks," she said during a preview interview. "Just real talk, from one survivor to another." As she stacked the final box inside her cozy Utah home, she looked around. It was smaller, simpler, but warmer. Filled with plants and books and candles that smelled like vanilla and sandalwood. It was hers, all hers. She poured herself a cup of turmeric tea, sat in her reading nook, and opened her journal. April 14, 2025. Detox complete. Not because everything is perfect, but because I've made peace with what isn't.